Now third is a combination of separating and throttling calorimeter. Uh, Before this we have seen throttling calorimeter and separating calorimeter. Throttling calorimeter and separating calorimeter is used when steam is not much weight. Steam is not much weight. If steam is not much weight, in that case you can use either separating calorimeter or throttling calorimeter. But steam is highly weight. If the steam is highly weight, in that condition we have to use separating plus throttling calorimeter. This is, we can say, this is separating, combination of separating and throttling calorimeter. This calorimeter is used when steam is highly weight. Steam is highly weight means mass of water is more as compared to vapor. When the mass of water is more as compared to vapor, in this case we use throttling calorimeter. Oh, sorry, separating plus throttling calorimeter. Suppose highly weight steam is used. If the highly weight steam is used for in the throttling calorimeter, what will happen? The expansion will not be sufficient to vaporize the steam. The expansion will not be sufficient to vaporize the whole steam. Therefore superheated steam will not be obtained. Superheated steam will not be obtained. To measure dryness fraction, we require superheated steam. But if the steam is highly weight, then superheated steam will not be obtained. Therefore highly weight steam is a first pass through the separating calorimeter so that liquid part can be separated in a collection tank. Liquid part can be separated in a collection tank, and the wet steam entering in the throttling calorimeter will be less wet. Now in combined separating and throttling calorimeter, again it consists of sampling bulb. In a sampling bulb, wet steam is collected, and wet steam is first passed through the separating calorimeter. In a separating calorimeter, when wet steam pass through the obstacles, the liquid parts get condensed. Liquid part get condensed and collect in a collector tank. Now the less wet steam enters in a throttling calorimeter. Consider it is a 1 and it is a 2 region. In one region, here pressure of less wet steam is measured. Pressure of less wet steam is measured so that we can calculate enthalpy HF and HFG from steam table. Then this wet steam passes through the throttling wall. Due to sudden decrement in pressure, wet steam vaporizes and it becomes superheated steam. Now the temperature and pressure of superheated steam is measured here. Pressure and temperature of superheated steam is measured here. Now in separating calorimeter, water is collected here. Consider amount of water collected as mf. Consider amount of water collected in separating calorimeter is mf, and the amount of water collected here, it is a m2. Amount of water collected here, it is a m2. But I want to calculate amount of steam collected here. The amount of steam or the dry steam will be is equal to mass of water collected multiplied by dryness fraction. Mass of water collected multiplied by dryness fraction. Let's look at the theory of combined separating and throttling calorimeter. Sometime when the wet steam is extremely wet, when the wet steam is highly wet, then upon throttling state of steam is unable to become superheated. If the steam is extremely wet, then upon throttling, steam doesn't convert into superheated steam. In such situation, mixture is first passed through separating calorimeter to reduce liquid fraction in it, and subsequently this less weight mixture is passed through the throttling calorimeter. If the mixture is highly weight, then it is first passed through the separating calorimeter so that a liquid part can be removed and less weight steam can be entered in the throttling calorimeter. In such calorimeters, the arrangement is shown in the figure. Here, excessively wet steam is first sent to separating calorimeter. Here, its wetness is reduced by separating out some liquid fractions. Say it is a MF1. The amount of liquid collected in the separating calorimeter considered as MF1. Less wet steam sent to the throttling calorimeter and its dryness fraction is estimated as X2. Consider X2 is a dryness fraction of steam, wet steam entering in a throttling calorimeter. Then at the end, this throttled steam is made to pass through condenser. This throttled steam is made to pass through condenser where its mass is collected, and the mass of condensate is measured from that collected condensate tank is M2. The mass of water collected in the throttling calorimeter is M2. Thus, M2 is the total mass of steam sent from the separating calorimeter to the throttling calorimeter. As the mass of liquid collected in collection tank of a separating calorimeter is MF1, then the total mass of wet steam under examination will be MF1 plus M2. MF1 is collected in a separating calorimeter and M2 is collected in throttling calorimeter. Therefore, total mass is equal to MF1 plus M2. The dryness fraction at section 1 shall be X1. The dryness fraction at the section 1 shall be X1 is equal to mass of vapor upon total mass. Mass of vapor upon total mass. This is a formula for separating calorimeter. Mass of vapor upon total mass. Mass of vapor at 1 shall be similar to the mass of vapor entering 2 section. Therefore, mass of vapor at 2 section will be equal to X2 into M2. Therefore, mass of vapor, I am not talking about mass of liquid, mass of vapor is X2 into M2. Therefore, dryness fraction at X1 is equal to mass of vapor upon total mass. Mass of vapor is X2 into M2 and total mass is MF1 plus